Good morning, sports fans. Hell yeah. All sports. I'm Bart Winkler. Ryan Horvat is here. We're going to give our picks for the divisional round in the NFL. And if you're at home on Saturday and you're thinking, God, I love watching football, but I wish I had a little bit more. I wish my brain needs to be stimulated a little bit more. Pop on your local CBS Sports Radio affiliate and listen to Bart Gregory Winkler from 4P to 9P Central Time, as I will be with you alongside during the games. Really looking forward to it. Going to talk about the games. So it's weird doing, and you do it every night, Horvat, but your job is like supposed to do that. I did a Thursday night show for Gelb a couple weeks ago, Zach Gelb, and I've never done a show during an NFL game.
Yeah.
Until then. Because I always do mornings, and doing a show where there's an NFL game on, it's like, well, all I want to talk about is the NFL game. But if you're listening to the radio, you had the choice to watch the NFL game, and maybe you don't want to hear, but all I can do is talk about the NFL. It's weird. It's especially on that level. If I'm on sports radio on Saturday, this Saturday, I'm not going to talk about baseball for 5 fucking hours.
No. So here's the thing with it, right? I'm gonna be frank here.
Be frank.
You can still be Garth. I hate it. I liked it like the first year. I want to go back to I want to preview the games. I want to talk about line movement. I gotta get off. I don't like doing it. And you know why I don't like doing it? I mean, I love having a job. I love my job. Don't get me wrong. But yeah. I would rather do like what Joe O does, or like the morning show, because I like to preview the games. Because me, with my ADD, especially because I bet big money on these games, not $20 like some people, I like the other night, I have Georgia -7.5. We're going down. It's the stretch. And we got a bunch of 18, 19-year-old kids shooting and missing free throws. And I have a lot of money on this game, and I'm trying to do a damn live show. They tell you like you can't do live play-by-play. I learned this really quick, funny story. I learned this the hard way when I used to do the sports flashes, and I was doing it for the Wendy's Big Show when we would all get like 2 shifts per week, me, Billy, and who else at the time? Anthony Mandela. And so it was game 163, Brewers Cubs, man. And it's the 9th inning. And what was the score in that game? It was 1-0 or 2-1. It was
3-1 final.
It was a low scoring game though. Nothing, no offense until we get to late in the game. And I want to say it's Hader versus Rizzo. I forget how this all ends because I'm a Cub fan. You guys are Brewer fans. So you guys probably remember better. I remember 2016 a little bit better. But so I'm watching.
Yeah, I was no big deal. But I was on the field afterward. I mean, it's no big deal. I was just
you were on the field, dude. And I remember because. Well,
it's not a big deal, but I was on the field. It's no big deal.
Well, that's when we were doing that crap, and I promise not to swear this episode because I know like there's kids watching.
Oh, I already swore once, but I'll try not to swear too.
I'm not going to because I like to be a better role model. I get on here and it's like my playground, and I'm sorry for that. It's just sometimes you bring it out of me with your Aaron Rodgers hate, and I'm not going to talk about him this episode either.
What?
Well, we might actually have to get into one little thing because we talked about it before we started the pod, and then you pissed me off with it. So now we probably are going to get into it. But hold on, I want to stick with this. My ADD. Look at the ADD already coming. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. This one, game 163, and it's the bottom of the 9th, and I'm like doing a sports flash, and like, dude, this is a big moment in Brewer history, probably the biggest since my Uncle Earl was calling the Milwaukee Braves World Series W, and I'm giving play-by-play. I'm like Lorenzo Cain or Anthony Rizzo, 0-2 count. Hader up high with the fastball, misses. And Sparky after, like, rips into me, yells at me after the update. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you can't give play-by-play on the air. And I was like, what the hell am I supposed to talk about, Eric Bledsoe has the flu. He might miss the next game. He missed the shoot-around this morning. And so I find myself doing that, though, when I'm hosting the show, especially during football. Basketball, it's like it is what it is. But
yeah,
every single night.
Football, I mean, that's what's so hard about it.
But dude, and I've always wanted to be a play-by-play broadcaster. It's just so hard to get an actual good job, and I couldn't call Iowa Cub games my whole life. But so I'll be like, 3rd and 1, Rodgers single back to his left. We got trips to the right. Receiver comes in motion, inside handoff to Dillon, gets upside, gets in there for the first down. Packers 17-14, 4:42 to go. And I'm like, how do you not do it, though? So exactly, like, what are you going to talk about? The steroid era while you got the divisional round games going?
I think during the games, I'm going to try to plan. So every team that's out, I want to look at their quarterback future. Mm-hmm. And then I definitely will do my Rodgers bit.
Oh, no. Okay, let's do that then. What's your Rodgers?
Well, the bit I'm going to do on Saturday is I'm just going to say, look, guy, you were 4-8. We should have benched you. You were hurt. That you weren't going to make the playoffs, but we believed in you because you're Aaron Rodgers and you got us back. You got us a primetime game. You got us a win and get in, and then you didn't deliver. I mean, we've given this to you year after year. So I think the Packers should move on. I don't like that Rodgers is doing exactly what Favre did when he said for a long time he wouldn't. And I understand that it is a big, like, he may think right now, like we saw with Brady, to put a microphone in these guys' face the moment after a game like this, or even a week after, and say, what are you going to do? Like, they're afforded time. Give them some time, okay? The problem is it's not going to be a story until there's things that come up that make it a story. Nobody needed to talk about the Packers since they lost. There was no reason to. But then Gutekunst talked, so then it's in the news again. Then Rodgers talks, so of course it's in the news again. And the whole thread coming out of this is Rodgers was asked about playing at a high level, and he said, I still think I can play at an MVP level. That clip got shrunk, and then Gronk's commenting on it, and Bill Huber just had an article about how Rodgers brings the stupid out in people. And I think he said, like, the clickbait whores made SI.com, so that was a big moment for them. I think that here's just what I'm saying. One, it's been 12 years. It's not happening with Rodgers, so move on. You drafted a guy, so move on. That's where I am. The MVP part of this is if I ask Rodgers anything, even if it's can you play at an MVP level, I don't want him to say the words MVP. What that does to me is it makes me think that he's thinking about MVP. He measures his success in how well he plays, not how well the team plays. And I get that the answer was, massage for him to talk about if he can play at what level. But the fact that he's even thinking MVPs and not Super Bowls is where I would push back on the people that are pushing back, like thinking that we're stupid. So if I ask Rodgers point blank and say, do you think you can play at an MVP level? I don't want him to say yes. I want him to say, I need to play at a level that can win us a Super Bowl, because that should be at the top of his mind, and I don't think it is.
No. All right. Well, I don't even actually. That's fine with me. All that is actually.
Thank you.
All that's fine with me. Do me a favor. So I got 2 texts, which I never check my phone. The only reason I have my phone while we're doing this is because I wanted to see what the latest lines are. And I get one text from your guy, Zach Gelb, and he says, the Bills at -5 makes no sense, but makes me want to take them. We'll get to that pick.
Gelby.
And then I got one from my wife saying, OS, I left my curling iron on. And since I don't want my apartment to burn down, could you tell the fine folks about Golden Chicken and House Corners? Because I'll tell you this, if I was back in Wisconsin and I'm watching the games this weekend, it's Saturday, it's Sunday, what I do is I don't even get off the couch. Maybe I crack open a 6-pack, maybe a 12-pack, maybe 18, maybe 24. Maybe I have a couple old fashions. And what I do is I call them 414-427-5500. If I'm having people over for the games, I'm getting catering. Probably 375 pieces of chicken for the gang. If it's just me, I'm going to get a whole crap load delivered. Probably still like a 40 to 50 piece, because that stuff's really good. I'm not a big microwave guy. I actually have this take, like if you microwave your food, you've heard this take that I think you're a serial killer, but golden chicken in the microwave is great.
That's why I put my Hot Pockets on the grill.
Do what you got to do. 414-427-5500. I do got to swear one time. It's finger licking fucking good. Tell the people why I go turn my wife's crap off really quick.
Well, I just like to echo what he said, and I want to thank Golden Chicken. They bring you the picks every Friday, and Horvat had it right there. 414-427-5500. 414-427-5500. And you can check them out online, goldenchickenhc.com. You can get the menu there. You can get the delivering there. You can get the catering there. You can check out the menu there. We're talking the Friday fish fry. We're talking ribs. We're talking pizza. We're talking all the sides that you could want, from the mac and cheese to the cauliflower to the Maz sticks to Horvat's mini tacos to the onion rings to the jalapeno poppers, that and more. GoldenChickenHC.com. GoldenChickenHC.com. We'll have those picks coming up for you right after this. And we're back. Ryan Horvat is with me. I'm Bart Winkler. One other thing I'd like to tell you about, since we're in the mood telling you all the great things we like, is Happy Place Hemp. HappyPlaceHemp.com. Check them out. You know, they're not too far for Golden Chicken. They're off College Court in Muskego. You could do the old pick up some chicken, pick up some gummies. I have been more on the gummy train this week than ever before. I mean, I take them a bunch, but now I'm taking them and I haven't drank in like 5 days. I know you guys all think I'm a lush, but I haven't drank in 5 days. I have a problem. No. I drinking helps me sleep. I can't sleep. I'm into the Happy Place Hemp portion of the show.
I heard you.
One of the reasons I drink is because I want to sleep. I have a hard time sleeping, like falling asleep. But I take gummies, and they help me sleep instead. I was very tired the other night, but sometimes you get into that tired where then you miss the window of sleep.
Yeah.
And then you're like up. So I didn't want to miss that window. The Barty special is 2 of the purples, 2 of the CBD CBN ones. Chew those. Very good. Same time. And knocks you right out. Chris and Rob have been coming on the show the last couple of days. You've been hearing from them to talk about all the different differences, whether it's like, and we're talking about a lot of what we talk about is taking the gummies, feeling good, helping you sleep. But if you have like pain, there's been a lot of testimonials where you rub some of the lotion on or some of that kind of stuff, and it helps that way too. So there's so many different great things that CBD can do for you, and you can check them out, happyplacehemp.com. The promo code is BART, 25% off every single order. Promo code BART at happyplacehemp.com. All right, that was like a radio length commercial break. Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. All right, let's get into it.
I mean, it's honestly, Golden Chicken being a part of this has been so fun. The Happy Place Hemp guys, they were, as soon as this happened, they were like, hey, we wanted to work with you on the radio, and we'd love to work with you now. So I can't show them the appreciation that they've showed us. I really mean that.
Okay.
Also, coming up in a few weeks or sooner, I'll have some steak promos for you. Yeah, your boy's busted.
Me too?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Actually, shit. So, is it going to be with Omaha?
Well, it better be now that you said it, but yeah.
I hope so too, because check this out, man. We got some shit here. Here's a testimonial we got some Omaha, we got some freaking beef tenderloin steaks around here. We got some fillets, which I'm not gonna dig out. We got some what else do we got here from Omaha that I haven't got into yet?
All right, let's get back into it.
We got some stuffed baked potatoes.
They're not officially. Let's get back into it.
Hey, I'm just giving them a shout out. Just hey, maybe they want to sponsor the Horvatacy too. Maybe they want to jump on board for the Ryan Horvat show coming soon.
Is there regarding the Packers real quick, and we don't need to have the same Rodgers conversation that we always have, but the other stuff
about Rodgers.
Yeah. So the other stuff, I am not ready. The day after they lost, the body's not even cold. People are showing me their mock drafts. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah. I'm all in on these games we're about to talk about, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not ready for I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah, screw them, dude. Like, we got baseball season coming up. I know you guys are kind of down as Brewer fans. The Cubs, I don't know if you've heard this. # we're back. Great movie, by the way, from the 90s. Check it out. There's dinosaurs in it. And that kid that was in, like, everything's in it. But anyway, back to the story. You see what the Cubs are doing? Trey Mancini to the Cubs.
That's your guy.
I know. I love Trey Mancini. I'm pretty excited about that.
That's you guys, boys.
You probably heard of Dansby Swanson. You know him, right?
Yeah, Cubs are really high on him.
little-known shortstop. What do you think about Cody Bellinger on a prove-it deal for a former MVP?
I would have taken him.
Yeah, I mean, him and Yelich, pretty much the same dude. Remember when it was like the new faces of baseball?
Yelly and Belly.
I remember somebody wrote an article that Christian Yelich was a better baseball player than Mike Trout.
Ooh. Was that someone, Mike Atanasio?
I'm not even actually being a Richard about it. I don't remember who wrote the article. It wasn't like, it was like MLB.com. It was probably like Jim Callis or somebody that we used to have on to just fill a segment. Hey, Jim, tell us about the pipeline. I used to, you know what I hate? I got to be honest. I hate minor league prospect talk. I hate when it was like, oh, Madison Bumgarner, the dude's never lost a game in the World Series. The Brewers could use him. Or the Brewers have needed a bat since, let's be honest, since forever. Brewers could use another bat. Oh, but I don't want to part ways with. And it's not even like Keston here. I always understood. But it would be,
Sal Frelick.
It would just, I don't even, I'm trying to think.
So did you hear about the Brewers event this week?
Be like, oh, you can't get rid of Tyron Taylor. It's like, but you can. You freaking can.
Did you hear about the Brewers? They didn't, you know how they did that on deck?
No, that's the problem. I haven't heard shit from them.
Did you ever cover On Deck?
Oh, God, yeah. I hated that show.
No, did you ever cover the Brewers On Deck?
To go like into the, yeah, I've talked about this a million times in the clubhouse. I'd always get stuck on Sunday.
No. The Brewers have a winter warm-up on deck.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Cubs convention. No, I've never covered that. I don't even go to my own teams. I hate conventions. People that go to that weird me out. I didn't mean that actually for Brewers fans. Your guys is probably way. I mean,
Cubs fans. Like my dad just went to a soccer coaches convention.
No, that's normal. I mean, I'm calling out my own fan base. The people that go to the Cubs convention are weirdos, I think, personally.
Well, the Brewers on Deck event was always cool, and thousands of people would come. This year they had the guys bartend at Dugout 54, and it's weird. So, according to the Brewers, they had a 600 capacity in this bar.
Oh, I heard about this. They hate.
And then there were about 300 people that were waiting outside in line.
Yeah,
and some players went out there, so good on the Brewers for that. But to take your event, shrink it to a bar, the Brewers were advertising it the night before as if they were worried people weren't going to come. And I'm in a weird spot where like 900 people came. Like if 900 people came, if that's it, now it's like, because I'm making fun of them for having it only be 600. But the Brewers should want more people to not get in. But also you don't want to piss off those people. I just think right now the Brewers are in a spot where everything they do PR-wise is very bad. And the main thing coming out of this is because you let reporters get a microphone in Willie Adamas's face is he says he's had no extension talks, which shortstops are going for $30 million a pop right now. And I don't know, like I'm not as high on Willie as every other Brewer fan, but he's going to be better than what you're going to find. So, and he is good. I'm not going to say that he's not good. I'm just not as high on as everybody else. I think he's the de facto favorite player because there's no one else to like. But that's neither here nor there. I just think that they're just in a weird spot where there's just not a lot of excitement around them.
Yeah.
But people are still going to go for it to be something to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I didn't expect you to really say anything off of that. I just felt like
all I was actually going to ask was Christian Yelich there?
No.
I was going to say, because then there'd probably be a bunch of chicks, right?
And you know what I did see? I did see like the reporters gaggle in front of Matt Arnold and part of me was jealous that I wasn't there. Part of me was jealous that
All right, you got to talk about this with Tim or anybody else. I don't give a shit. Let's move on to football. It's football season. I got a nap to catch. I don't even know who these people are that you're mentioning now. I don't care. We're going to get into like, should the Brewers fire the third base coach? It's always like some shit. Is Pat Murphy the problem? Like, no, it's the goddamn, it's the players. Like, we don't know any of these guys. Nobody's ever heard of these. Nobody outside of Milwaukee's ever heard of half of these dudes. It's like, oh, Lorenzo Cain and Christian Yelich. Yeah, for 2 years. Awesome story. Ryan Braun, big name player. Now, like if I guarantee you, we should do this. I should walk down my street and just say, can you name 3 Milwaukee Brewers? If I ask, especially here, If I ask 50 people, how many people out of 50 do you think can name 3 Milwaukee Brewers currently? Not all time.
Like 50 sports fan? Like if you go to Nationals Park.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not talking like
okay,
those that are watching.
You go to Nationals Park and ask people to name 3 Brewers.
50. I would ask 50 Nats fans, and I guarantee you they couldn't name 3 current Brewers. Okay.
I would say at least 35 say Yelich.
No. But the problem is you have the pitchers, Corbin Burns, Brandon. I don't know. Yeah. Well, you should know Corbin Burns. Didn't he win a Cy Young? Yeah.
I'd say at least 10 of them still say Ryan Braun.
I
think if you came up here, at least 10 Brewers fans would say Ryan Zimmerman. And there'd probably be like 10 fans that say Bryce Harper.
I bet you if I asked 50 Nats
and Juan Soto,
I'd say, can you name 3 Cubs? They probably couldn't, though. I mean, because
Pete Crow Armstrong, your guy.
Let's be honest. The only team that you care about, unless you're like playing fantasy baseball, which I got to be honest, for the first time in 20 years, I don't think I'm playing. It's just there's way too much, man. I can't set a damn lineup. I have kid, solo. I have a wife. I don't have time to make sure that Christian Yelich doesn't have a tibula injury. Anyway, move on. I'm done with the baseball shit.
Done with baseball. Get it out of here.
Let's go. Games. Let's start with Saturday. The Kansas City Chiefs open as a 9.5-point favorite. Ryan Horvat grabs the Jags plus 9.5. The next day, actually an hour later, Jags go down to be an 8.5-point underdogs on the road. Total in the game, very high. It's 53. I think that's a little bit of an overreaction because every game went over last week. We might see some low-scoring games. I'm not going to take the under in this game, though. I think we're going to get some points. The Jags right now, this kind of reminds me, I'm going to bring up baseball, actually. Every season, the Dodgers win 120 games. Everybody's like, this is the best Dodgers team ever, best team in all of baseball. They're going to roll to the World Series. They're going to roll through the American League when they get there. And then what happens? Dodgers get beat. You know why? They're bored as crap the final 2 months of the season, whereas some team like the Brewers, the Nationals, the Braves, they get hot because they have to win all these games. They have all the momentum. Momentum's a real thing. I believe in momentum, and the Jags have that right now. Jags will probably need a takeaway or two, but Mahomes, as great as he is, he's prone to some turnover-worthy throws. Andy Reid gets a little too cute, especially in the second half of some of these games. If they run Pacheco like 15, 16 times, I think they probably roll and cover the number. Kansas City just doesn't cover big numbers. If Trevor Lawrence plays like he did in the first half, Jags are probably screwed, but I'm going to roll with the hot team. I took the Jags with the points. I'm tempted to grab the Jags on the money line, plus 333. They might upset Kansas City, man. The Jags are hot. Trevor Lawrence in the second half played great. Like I said, they need a takeaway or two. I'm not really sold on Kansas City's defense, the secondary. I like Chris Jones, obviously, a lot. If they get pressure on Trevor Lawrence, maybe he makes some mistakes. I think the Jags are going to be able to run the ball here, too. I like ETN props. Give me the Jags, plus 8.5. We'll go with the consensus line right now. I like the Jags still. Anything over 7.
So, but what will you take money line?
If it's plus 333 right now, if I could get a plus 350, I'll probably put $100 on it. Why not? I mean, I think I got another underdog, though, that I did play the money line. It's my biggest bet of the season. We'll talk about that coming up shortly. It's an underdog. But I might just like a little sprinkle. I'm kind of rooting for the Jags, too. I'd like to see the Jags go into Kansas City. The problem is Arrowhead, Kansas City.
I'm reminded of, and it's different teams. I'm reminded of when the Jags went to New England.
Should have won.
Lost. Should have won, but then lost.
Should have won. Yeah, but they got screwed. Miles Jack got screwed.
I don't know. I think this Jags team is, as one would say, on the come.
Yeah.
They're on the come. Jacksonville's on the come. First of all, it should be on the come up.
Yeah, I never understood.
That is a dumb phrase.
It is.
But he would just say, Jacksonville's on the come.
Yeah.
All right. I want to. I think a lot of people want to. You don't want to take Kansas City. You want to take Jacksonville. I think Kansas City wins. So I'm going to take Kansas City to win.
Okay.
And then it's a matter of by how many points.
Well, yeah, we're not picking teams to win. This isn't Jack Collinsworth and those dorks. This is against the spread. This is trying to help the people. I have multiple units on the Jacksonville Jags, and I'm thinking about playing a little money line. If you are sticking with Kansas City, just take the points. Like I told you in the playoffs, man, it's like 78% of the time the spread doesn't come into play. If the favorite wins, the favorite covers. If the dog covers, the dog wins outright.
But 8.5's big on a team that is feeling themselves. I mean, I saw that clip, Trevor Lawrence and the defense. They're down 27-0, and the defender goes, just play. We have you now. And they're giving up 27 points. And Lawrence like, all right. Yeah, we got you. Don't worry. We got
up those points because they were set up in crappy situations because Sunshine was throwing the ball to the other team.
Yeah, so what's your read on the Chargers?
I've been bitching about Joe Lombardi for the last 3 years. I think he's really bad.
So firing him mean they're not firing Staley?
Yeah, which I mean, like, Staley's not great at anything. He's not good at anything.
Staley had a minute to go. Ty, you get in. Instead, he played and lost.
Yeah, Staley is a good defensive coordinator. He's just not a head coach. I would take Brandon Staley as a defensive coordinator over Joe Barry any day. The scheme was great. Trevor Lawrence was confused as hell, man. Like, he didn't know if he was seeing man or zone. That's why he threw those 4 picks. The problem was, I mean, like, Brandon Staley's not a head coach. He's not good at clock management. Also, remember, he used to just be insane with the 4th down crap. Didn't matter if he was in his own territory. Now, social media and the fans and the media and everybody, they've kind of bullied him into being almost like too conservative. Like, he got really McCarthy-like and started kicking field goals. And back in the day, he used to go for it on 4th down. So he's just a mess right now. If you could have had Sean Payton, I probably would have went with Sean Payton. The thing about Sean Payton, though, is like, why do we act like he didn't choke for a decade plus? He won 1 Super Bowl with Drew Brees. If we want to do the one
He's
Super Bowl.
He's got a good PR team, man. They were 7-9 a lot of years. They were 7-9 3 years in a row with Drew Brees.
Yeah, everybody's always like, man, imagine what would have happened with Green Bay if we hired Sean Payton over Mike McCarthy. And I mean, I don't know. McCarthy was really damn good, especially with Favre that last year. McCarthy was really good. I thought maybe the game had passed him by. I don't think Mike McCarthy is a good X's and O's guy. I don't think he's good with analytics or anything like that, despite what he lied about and told us on the NFL Network and lied to Jerry Jones about. He said it. He's like, I lied in my interview. But that's what I love about that guy. And he's a really good motivator. His teams like him. You saw him with the chain. He's like, none of these guys have ever heard of Gallagher or any of this crap, but he's like that coach. He's like your uncle that comes over and he's a goofball, but you get a kick out of him. And you're like,
yeah, like you make fun of him, but it's actually in a good way.
You go back like, you know, you're sitting there with the team and you're like, man, can you believe that crazy lunatic showed us Gallagher? But then like you go back to the hotel or you go back home and you're like, man, crap was kind of funny.
It's like you make fun of him for 5 minutes.
Go into this.
I bet you Cowboys, they make fun of him for 5 minutes. And then after they're done making fun of him, they go, he's a real one though. He's
like,
a real one.
Exactly. They love him. And that's the thing. Like, as long as Kellen Moore is not a complete disaster like he was last year against the 49ers when they called the quarterback draw with no timeouts, and Dan Quinn does what he's been doing. He's a good DC, not a head coach. I think they're all like, it's like if you had like 3 people with half of a brain and you combine them all in one room, they're kind of like one solid NFL head coach. I don't think Kellen Moore will be a good NFL head coach. I don't think Quinn will be, but I think McCarthy is a good motivator and people get a kick out of him. And people play for him. You saw that. I mean, I know they lost the game because CeeDee Lamb couldn't run a damn route, but you saw that even against Green Bay. Like, his guys wanted to beat the Packers for him. So
who does better with what team? LaFleur with the Chargers or Staley with the Packers?
Oh, LaFleur with the Chargers. LaFleur with the
Chargers. I think as much as Rodgers runs over LaFleur, he would eat Staley.
Oh God, yeah. They'd probably be doing yoga together though. But like with McCarthy and Rodgers, because Ellerson was tweeting me about this too, and I've never hated McCarthy. Like, I did think he stunk. Like, he needed to leave. The problem was it was like when my parents in the 3rd grade clearly hated each other, and I was like, hey, I love you guys. I don't really want to have separate Christmases. We can't do this shit though over and over. You guys got to get a divorce. That was McCarthy Rodgers. Like, and you had to go with Rodgers because he's I know you don't want to hear this, the MVP, and Mac had to be replaced. He was getting deep tissue massages during special teams practice, and Brandon Bostic is going renegade and jumping in front of Jordy Nelson on special teams. So it was time for him to go. I'm glad he's found success, and I'm rooting for him. So I don't know why people tweet me about Mike McCarthy. I love Mike McCarthy. Every time we go to Green Bay, I take a big picture right next to his street sign. I've always loved Mac, but like he couldn't stay. And I wasn't moving on from Aaron Rodgers for Mike McCarthy. I'm sorry.
No.
I would never choose coach over quarterback. It's really hard to find quarterback. It's really easy to find coach. Anyway.
Let me put this pick in writing. I'm going to make this my mini special of the week. Mini specials at Golden Chicken. That's 8 pieces of chicken, 1 large side, some coleslaw, and 3 rolls. Just a little mini on this for the Chiefs. The thing you say, if they win, they cover most of the time. I am going to take the Chiefs. I don't know. I kind of feel the way I felt when Tebow won that game, and then everyone was believing in Tebow, and then they got murdered by New England.
Yeah.
Either Jacksonville wins or they get murdered. And I don't think Jacksonville's winning, so they're going to get slaughtered.
This is my golden chicken.
But I would put, again, mini special. I'm very low on this one. I'm not, and I'll go through all my emotions when I'm on CBS Sports Radio this weekend. Don't miss it. Do you like on the YouTube, I have the green behind me? I look like Mr. Burns when he's an alien. Ooh.
You do. Yeah, you look like you've been like infected with toxic ooze or something.
I have Golden Chicken behind me as my backdrop. I'm not actually in the parking lot, I must say.
All right, well, now you're telling them what's in the sauce. This is my golden chicken. I know it's wild, but I'm going to do it anyway in order a 50-piece bucket because I know it's wild to take some Jags money line, but you know what I just did while we're here recording this podcast? I took a litlittle money line plus 350.
As we're talking, holy shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. I went 5-0 in tennis last night just by betting like total sets. It was tremendous.
God bless. 2 bets this week on some weird website. I bet Man U lost that in the 90th
I lost that
minute.
too. Yeah,
and I bet John Eisner. Remember that tennis guy, John Eisner? He
you
was up 1
set
to nothing, and I bet him, and then he lost.
Now that football season's coming to an end, when we do our picks, if we continue to do this for the peeps, I think that we should do some soccer. We'll do some golf, and we'll also do some college basketball and NBA. So I think that we should start recording, though, on Fridays.
Well, then when do I air it?
Well, then you would air it. I think you got to get it out like right away because, well, no. We'll stick with Thursday, but
I got to pump these out at 5 a.m. People, I'm a morning man. People, I can't be like Friday. Well, I could, but I don't want to. I can't do Fridays every day and then like noon on Fridays.
What you should do is today should be a day because let's just tell the people we're recording this on Thursday, January 19th at 11:14 a.m. my time, 10:14, I believe your time, correct?
Good job.
Yeah, awesome. Sweet. I'm getting better at that. Remember when I used to produce and I'd be like, hey, we could get Jared Greenberg from the NBA.
Yeah, you're really bad at it. Yeah.
But I don't know what effing time we could have. Whatever. I would get the guys.
It's just minus +1. Yeah.
Yeah, drugs got a hold of me, as Eminem once said. What was I even talking about, speaking of drugs?
We could do a special like YouTube pick 'em.
No, I think today's episode you should drop early. You should be like, hey, this is the typical Friday morning episode. I'm dropping this Thursday night at 7 p.m. because these picks, these numbers might change. I love some of this stuff. I love the Jags this week. The Jags are going to win this game. I have a lot of money on the Jags.
So I can drop it early on YouTube.
Let's see. You know what? I'm going to give the people, you know what, since we're doing this, I bet some props too, and I want to give those out. Those are the numbers that'll change. So let me give some props too, if you don't mind. What do you think about that?
Yeah, just keep your face as close to your camera as possible while you're doing it.
Well, sorry.
Get a nice glimpse of that schnoz.
You like that? I broke my nose 4 times.
Oh.
I have a deviated septum.
I have like a bar in my nose.
Which is why I sound
like different. I have an extra bone, I think.
So I have the Jags pretty big in this game. And then as far as props, you know what? I'll just read off every single prop that I have for this one. You ready? All
right, yeah. Before you do that, this is the jalapeno proppers. Golden Chicken's jalapeno proppers. Just like you can get the delicious cheddar jalapeno poppers at Golden Chicken, you can get Horvat's hot jalapeno props. Horvat, take her away.
All right. I got Travis Etienne over 17.5 receiving yards.
Ooh.
I have Travis Etienne over 15.5 carries. I think it's going to be a big Travis Etienne game against this Chiefs defense. I have Isaiah Pacheco over 13.5 carries. I think Andy Reid's going to have to run the ball here.
Is Edwards-Helaire back, though? Are they going to work his dumbass in?
It's going to be all Pacheco.
Why do the Chiefs have a guy who's a rookie play him for a year and a half and then move on to the next guy? Like, Pacheco ain't going to be the guy in a year and a half.
He might. He's pretty. I like Pacheco. You don't? Anyway, no, hold on. This is my golden chicken. I don't use the term locks, but I like this one a lot. Lock of the week. Give him a call, 414-427-5500. It's finger licking effing good. I love Travis Kelce over 6.5 receptions. The Jags can't cover tight ends. Some other quick ones that don't feature this game. Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey over 66.5 rushing yards. Tony Pollard over 48 rushing yards. Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke's going to have over 36.5 rushing yards. He's also going to score a touchdown, which is plus money. Brock Purdy's going to throw an interception, and it's only minus 110. Those are all my props. All right, let's get back into the picks. And you are on the Chiefs. I am on the Jags. So we have a show bet, as we like to call it here. Let's stick with the Saturday games. Let's go to the nightcap. And the primetime matchup has the New York Football Giants, our Giants, Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Brian Daboll, Mike Kafka, the boys. They're 7.5-point dogs. This may close at 7. This may close at 8. If it closes at 8, it's telling me Philadelphia at home is the right side. If we go down to 7, it means 7.5 is too many points for divisional rivals. Giants, technically, this will be the third time they've seen each other, but really it's only the second because the Giants a couple weeks ago played absolutely nobody. Eagles had to win that game. If Jalen Hurts plays like Jalen did against the Packers and he's healthy, they probably roll. They're well rested. A little worried about that shoulder, though, man. It's 7.5, though, and that's where the number's at right now while we record. I like the Giants. It's 6.5. I like the Eagles. I think this is probably a touchdown game. I don't think it should be more than a touchdown, though. Love the way Daniel Jones is playing. Also, with the Eagles, you can run the ball on them, although with Jordan Davis on the field, it's a different story. You saw, even the Packers. I think the Packers scored 31 points in that game, dude. I feel like they didn't score 31 the rest of the year. That's how it seemed. But they pretty much did whatever they want. Jordan Love put 10 points up in that game.
How many times did the Packers score 31? 2?
They scored it. Well, they hung a big number on the Vikings, but that was because of all the turnovers and because the Vikings didn't wear the right cleats or whatever the hell their excuse was. Also, with the Eagles, they can't defend the short passes. They take away the explosive
3
on the field.
They scored 30. They only scored 30 or more points 3 times. Dallas in overtime, Philly in a loss, and against the Vikings. They only scored 30 points 3 times, and you guys want Aaron Rodgers to come back? Get out of here.
It's 7.5. I like the Giants.
Yeah, see, both the 1 seeds are playing on Saturday, and they're both at home, and I could see some massive victories. Saturday night, the Giants could just the Eagles could just pour it on and go out of control on them.
Yeah, again, if this closes at 7, I like Philly. At 7.5, I got to take the Giants. I think that's here's the thing really quick from a betting standpoint. Here's what I said on the show is why I feel like Philly's the right side, though. If this game was played last week, it's a 9.5-point spread. Eagles at home are 9.5-point favorites. The reason it's 7.5 and might close at 7 is because is this an overreaction because the Giants went on the road in the playoffs and beat a 13-win team in a tough place?
No, I think if it's a reaction to anything, it's how good Jones played.
Yeah, I'm on the Giants. I'll stick with the Giants at 7.5, though. Eagles are going to win the game. I have a parlay, which I never do, a money line parlay. I got the Bills on the money line and the Eagles on the money line, and it pays like minus 135, which isn't bad because their Bills are minus 300 and Eagles are minus 250 or vice versa, something like that. So, yeah.
I'm going to take the Giants to cover. Now, that's all I don't know about the win. The Giants are our team. We've got our Bills over Giants Super Bowl still alive.
Yeah, so we got to we're hoping for it.
Which I started to think we should have took Giants over Bills.
I have a real one that I like a lot. I'll tell you about it, and I'm going to bet pretty big money. You could get in on it right now if you want, but I want to wait until we pick the game.
I'm going to stay with what we're doing.
Actually, shit, it's the same pick that Never mind. All right. I actually think these games should be flipped, even though I'm really excited for Dallas, San Francisco. It's going to remind me of my childhood. Cincinnati, though, in Buffalo, man, this is the first game of the day. 3 p.m. on Sunday, my time, 2 p.m.
I think right now, I'll tell you, too many people are going to say if there's one upset, it'll be Cincinnati.
It's not going to happen. I like
I'm
Buffalo.
starting to like Buffalo pretty good.
Yeah, there's a reason this is at 5.5. If it gets to 6, I might play back some Cincinnati, but I bet Buffalo at 4 in the beginning of the week. Cincinnati.
That AFC Championship game is going to be played in Atlanta.
Yeah. Cincy's offensive lines beat the crap.
How do you not play it in Green Bay? That'd be so sweet.
No, I want it in warm weather. I want that game played indoors or in warm weather.
They're
I don't want
outdoor teams is the thing. They're both outdoor teams.
I get it. I want to see offense. I'm going to bet the shit out of that over.
I just feel like a bowl game.
It is. Cincy's offensive line beat the crap. That's my breakdown. Buffalo's going to win this game at home. Buffalo's a team of destiny right now. Give me the Bills. I love Joe Burrow. I love the Bengals. I think Buffalo wins this game. The only way they lose this game is if Josh Allen goes full Favre, because that's who he is. He can make every throw. I love him. Not that I love Favre anymore.
Josh Allen's red zone play has been interesting.
Bad picks. But
get the Packers in the game. 3 times they scored more than 30. That's revolting. Now that I realize this, and one of those games they lost.
Bills. I'm on the Bills. What about you? What say you?
What say me? By the way, I'm trying to get Tim Shea to do his own podcast called What Shea You.
Okay. I like that.
What say me? Yeah, I like the Bills. I think here's the thing about last weekend. The Bills and the Dolphins played a close game, and so did the Bengals and the Ravens. The Bills realistically were never losing that game. It was close. They were in danger. They were never losing. Cincy almost lost.
They should have lost.
Cincy needed a miracle play.
Should have just given the ball to J.K. Dobbins. That's what Baltimore should have done.
So I don't know. There's a lot of people thinking Cincy's the way. And I like Buffalo to counter that. Buffalo's been everybody's pick. Don't change it now.
Yeah.
Buffalo San Fran will be the Super Bowl.
Think so?
No. I won't get in on San Fran. The problem with San Fran, and we're both on Buffalo.
We're both on Buffalo. Let's move on to the game then.
Okay. The problem with San Fran is that too many people, they are the Celtics. People just say, oh, the Celtics. And then they never win anything. Oh, well, it's the Niners. But they don't win anything. But the Niners, they're so flashy and they have so many good individual scorers. They can rip off. What I keep saying is the Niners can look like crap on offense. And then they have a 3-play, 80-yard drive where each play was 27 yards. Yeah. It's like, oh, my God, how do you stop this offense?
Yeah.
I'm taking – what is the line?
It opened at 4. We're down to 3.5.
Give me the boys.
3 at FanDuel last night.
Give me America's team.
Me too. I have the Cowboys on the spread, and I have them on the money line. I think they're probably going to the Super Bowl. Man, if Dak plays like he did against Tampa, and I know Tampa's defense isn't what they were 2 years ago, but their secondary was healthy.
How did you feel when McCarthy went for it on that 4th down? Like he should have done 8 years ago.
Yeah, showed.
Chuck and I tweeted about it at the same time. The number one storyline on Chuck and my show was always somehow the 2014 NFC Championship game, and
yeah,
it brought back memories.
Yeah, I like the Cowboys. I think they're going to win this game. I think Brock Purdy is going to come back down to earth. All Dallas has to do is contain the run game. Dak can't turn the ball over. If Dak goes full Dak and throws 3 picks, they're probably going to lose. I like Dallas. I like Dallas to win. I like the under, and I like Ezekiel Elliott a lot over 34.5 rushing yards. Everybody's going to talk all week about how he's washed and he sucks. I think that's the one area. Tony Pollard might not have a big game against San Francisco, but the power run game, they give up 4 yards per carry to these power backs. So I think that Zeke's going to eat. By eat, I mean he's going to go over 34. That's way too many. That's way too low. And I think he's going to score a touchdown too, which it's plus 150 right now while we record. So I think Zeke's going to have a big game. I think Dallas beats San Francisco, dude. Everybody's going to pick the Niners. It's going to be everybody's money line parlay. Last game of the week, everybody's going to be on the over, and everybody's going to bet the Niners. And McCarthy and Dan Quinn and Dak, they're going to go in there, and they're gonna shock the world.
He's nobody's underdog.
Cowboys Nation, let's ride.
So we're both on the boys. We're both on the Cowboys.
We're both on the Cowboys.
We're both on the Bills.
We're both on the Bills. Bills Nation. Bills Cowboys.
The Giants.
We're both on the Giants. I don't feel great about that one. I'm full disclosure, haven't bet that currently.
And then I'm on the Chiefs, and you're on Jacksonville.
Love the Jags. I'm betting the Jags to win. I like it more and more as the week goes on. Everybody's going to be like, holy shit, the Chiefs lost. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I told you guys on the Bart Winkler podcast. And then I also told you to stop being idiots and order the fish fry tomorrow on Friday, 414-427-5500. Maybe you're listening to this on Saturday before the games. Get yourself a bucket of chicken. All right, I'm going to take a nap. Thank you for your service.
Oh, I had one more thing for you.
Oh, okay. I got one more question for you. I need some EPL picks, actually. Go on.
Okay, I just wanted to bring this up. I was going to text you about it, but so Wisconsin's schedule next year, and just I know you don't care, but hold on.
No, I do.
Buffalo at Washington State, Georgia Southern at Purdue, bye. Rutgers, Iowa at Illinois, Ohio State at home, Indiana, Northwestern, Nebraska, and then at Minnesota.
Yeah, one loss.
If that.
They're going to lose to Ohio State.
Ohio State fans are already penciling that as a loss.
Yeah, you know what? They might beat Ohio State. I was having a brain fart and thinking that C.J. Stroud actually ended up going back. No, he's not taking the NIL money. More bad info that got out there. He was just waiting. He's going back. You're right. I'm a big C.J. Stroud fan. You're right. No, I'm really high on the Badgers, dude. I'm not even just saying this because of the two teams I root for. I joked about this on social media. I could see it happening. I said this Badgers Notre Dame national title game is going to be lit. I like Marcus Freeman. Everybody's like, oh, could Marcus Freeman win the big one because he lost one bowl game? I'm like, this isn't even his team.
That's why I wanted to bring up
schedule. That's Brian Kelly's team. He won the bowl game this year.
Listen to the Notre Dame schedule.
I already know it. I'm going.
I know, but for the unassuming, because there's been a lot made about Colorado's schedule with Dion and they could go. They could get. That's a tough schedule. They got TCU, Nebraska, Colorado State, Oregon, and USC all before October.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Notre Dame schedule. There's some layups in here, but also, my God, the Navy midshipmen in Ireland. Okay?
Yeah.
Tennessee State comes to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Which you would assume is a win, but Marshall beat you.
Shut up.
At NC State.
Win.
Central Michigan Chippewas.
Blowout win.
So let's say we go 4-0 if you're Notre Dame.
Yeah.
By the way, I drove by. When I went to Buffalo, I wanted to see Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
So we did. It's like right off the highway a little bit.
Yep.
You can't see shit from the football stadium.
I know. You can't see it. It sucks, dude. I don't like that. I know. Same thing when we drive, because we drive home from DC and it's like you're in Ohio, you're bored as shit. And then it's like, oh, Notre Dame's coming up. I'll tell my kid and he'll get excited. And I'll be like, but we're not going to see it because I'm not going to waste 25 minutes of my day driving off the highway. So
it sucks. All right.
Yeah, go on, though.
Then they have Ohio State.
Yeah, they're going to beat them. Sam Hartman's the quarterback.
Then at Duke, at Louisville. Then USC.
Who's going to have Caleb Williams? Are you saying this schedule is cupcake?
I'm saying it's hard as fuck.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Then they take a bye. Then they have Pitt. Then they're at Clemson.
At Clemson.
Then they're off. Then they have Wake Forest in the Sam Hartman game.
Yep.
And then they go to Stanford. You have Ohio State, USC, and Clemson. Say what you want about Clemson, but
no, they're going to be good next year. They got Cade Klubnik, dude. He's going to be a pro quarterback.
Dude, Notre Dame. This schedule might not even get you in a 12-game playoff.
No, I'm glad that you said that because people are like, oh, usual cupcake schedule. And I'm like, what in the crap are you guys
schedule's hard.
Yeah, but they got Sam Hartman, man. I know he's not going to be a starter in the NFL, but he'll probably be a really good backup. He's got a great beard. He's already got the ACC touchdown record. I'm all in on the Badgers and Notre Dame. And I like teams that are battle tested. Also, we have to remember that everybody gets in the damn college football playoff, which I don't like. Because
not next year.
Oh, yeah, that's the year after. I keep confusing.
Yeah, but if Notre Dame goes, how many games do they have? 12?
Yeah, 12.
if they go 12-2 and lose to like USC and Clemson or USC, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Notre Dame is the team. If that's the team to watch schedule wise.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, that's a tough schedule, but I like them. I like if the Badgers get through Ohio State, I think that they're in the playoff.
Well, their schedule's easy.
I can't wait to watch. I mean, it's hard to predict right now because we don't know what the offense is going to look like. We haven't seen it yet, but we know it's going to be, man. I mean, it's fickle coaching a team that's already known every year for their defense. It's going to be awesome. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, take your nap. Ryan Horvat, thank you so much, buddy. Golden Chicken Delivery and Catering, 414-427-5500. We'll be back on Monday, recap the weekend and more on the Bart Winkler Show.